When someone you care about gets fired or goes through a divorce or has some other life-changing problem, what do you tell them? Do you not really know what to say? Well, don't be too hard on yourself because according to a recent study, there is no quote-unquote right thing to say. I can think of many wrong things to say, though.
Oh, I'm ready.
No, I just stopped saying them.
Oh.
I learned this lesson around college. When I didn't know what to say, just go silent.
Well, but sometimes that's bad too.
It's true. It's true. And we can get into the research that explains why this is. Mm-hmm. So this study was published in Basic and Applied Social Psychology. And in it, researchers were trying to pin down a definition for social support. That's actually an important concept because it's correlated with mental health. And they were curious, was the definition of social support more objective, so about a given behavior, or was it more subjective, in the eye of the beholder? To figure this out, they asked participants to rate the supportiveness of various statements. For the first phase of the study, they crunched the numbers on a pre-existing data set from about 300 kids, all between 10 and 15 years old. In this data set, the kids agreed very little on what was and wasn't a supportive response to hypothetical problems. So for the next phase of the study, the researchers tried something new, this time with 54 undergraduate students. The researchers evaluated the students' personalities, then had them rate 96 potentially supportive statements. And then they looked at how much a person's personality explained what they found supportive. So let's say after a breakup, maybe an avoidant person wanted to hear something like, "Why don't you get some lunch and forget about the whole thing?" While an optimistic person might want to hear something like, "Things have a funny way of working out for the best." But it turns out, no. Even among avoidant versus optimistic people, researchers found no consensus about what supportive looked like. Even a group of students, faculty, and alumni who were affiliated with a clinical psychology PhD program couldn't reach a consensus. And it's their job, at least in part, to provide professional support. They were asked to rate how supportive therapists were being in assorted video clips, and again, no consensus emerged. Here's the takeaway. When people are in crisis, they sometimes report a feeling of isolation, and that means it's worth trying to be supportive. But according to this research, it's not worth being a perfectionist about it. The researchers say, quote, "mere presence and sympathy is likely enough," unquote.